Let's go. Another wonderful episode of your favorite wrestling podcast. I'm Crunk Chocolate. I'm here. It's just the magnificent tag team today. It's me, the homie Devin, the dude. How's it going, bro?
We out here, man. We back.
Let's go. Haven't really talked to you. I mean, the group chat exists, but it also don't exist. So, like, how was your Thanksgiving? How are your holidays?
Holidays was good, man. Just went to Mom Duke's house, just typical Thanksgiving. It was cool. Yeah, Mom Dukes is a nurse. Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Shout out to nurses.
So she actually works a lot of holidays, and this was one holiday she actually had off. So,
nice.
So she wanted to host. So, yeah, man, it was a good time, man. Just happy to, of course, just a day of gratitude, a day of thankfulness. Happy to be around family.
Yeah,
happy
man.
to be around good energy.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, that's all you can ask for. And about 3 plates of food and eggnog and apple pie and ice cream, and what else can you ask for, man?
That's real. That's real. I had the weather messed up my Thanksgiving, so I wasn't able to be with family, but I'll be seeing them for Christmas in a couple weeks, so it's all good. I ended up just making a bunch of the food at home. Sweet potato pie, mac and cheese, dressing. And I do the cornbread dressing because I grew up Southern. So, the real dressing. Yeah.
Little glaze.
Yeah, bro. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Some turkey dressing. It was very good. Yeah, I ate good. Finally, I finished all of it yesterday. I mean, if people are still eating their Thanksgiving like a week later, y'all are some sickos.
I think it's a good stopping point now. You know what I'm saying? Like, now is a good. I think anything beyond this, y'all got problems. Like, it might, just after today. Like, this is hard stop.
Yeah,
today.
like, honestly, you should have threw everything away Tuesday. Like, you should, if you have anything in there Wednesday, don't touch it. Like, it's probably dry. It's all sad. Like, please do. I want better for you. I want better for you. Even if you don't want better for yourself.
Same. Hard stop after today. I don't care what it is. Hard stop.
Oh, man. Well, let's talk some wrestling. We're going to start off with our first section, our wrestling news hot topics beyond the bell. Gonna start off with TNA. They have announced a new TV deal for their flagship series Impact. They announced that they're going to be joining AMC. I kind of was like, what? It seemed interesting for me, but obviously AMC, they've had many amazing shows to their company. So in theory, it makes sense. It'll be going on their streaming service, AMC Plus. The name will be changed to Thursday Night Impact. What I do like about it is from Axis, the previous broadcasting deal that they had around 30 million subscribers. AMC has 60 million subscribers, so they've doubled up. That's great. It will still hold the Thursday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., and it begins in January. So January 15th, it should be the first show of it. This is the final month of it on Access. I don't know if this is gonna like raise their chances of me watching it. I mean, in theory, it should. I guess, is AMC Plus a monthly service? Is it free? Like, how much
Now
does it cost?
that's the question. I'm gonna assume anything plus.
I know
there's a subscription involved with it, but you never know.
Let's see. It is $10 a month. They have, so it's $10 a month without ads. It's $6.99 a month with ads. I don't know about that, big dog. I don't know about like there are so many other streaming services I pay for. That's unfortunate.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, if you want it, you will pay for it, right?
Yes,
like,
facts,
it's not
facts.
It's not something people are going to just throw away $7 a month, $10 a month for. They're paying specifically for this.
Yeah, so
Just
salaries
like
for them.
just like how I pay, however much a month it is now for Peacock specifically for the Premier League.
Bro.
It is
And that's it.
it keeps rising. It
I
was like
know.
it was $6.99 when it started, and
I
even
know.
then I was like, oh, God dang! And now it's like $13.99 a month or
It's
something like that.
sick. I don't even try.
And
I try just try not to think about it.
so it's one of those things. Like I said, that people are going to pay for it specifically for that. And if they're going to do that, then I don't hate it. And like they said, if they're going to double their their subscribers, and it's same deal you said, right? Am I going to watch it? Probably not. But I'm still glad to see like the connection that they still have with WWE in that sense. So it's been good. It's been a good year for them, technically,
Yeah.
So with that connection. So I think a change was necessary, just to kind of, I don't want to say keep them relevant, but just to give them a boost. So
No, that's fair.
I don't hate it. Like I said, the consensus are we probably going to, get AMC Plus? Probably not, but I think it's a good business deal for them.
So it also will be shown on AMC. I think I gotta find out if my special methods of watching channels has AMC on it. So like if it does
what methods are these, Crunk?
Just a Fire Stick. I just a traditional Fire Stick. Nothing too crazy. I don't know what you're trying to hint at.
FBI agent, I didn't say anything. If you're listening, I just asked a simple question.
It'd be your own people. It'd be your own people. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, truly shout out to them. This really is. It's one of those deals where it helps both of them. Like it gets TNA in front of new faces. AMC, they really aren't. I mean, just cable, just television in general doesn't have the cachet that it used to. So I like that. I do like that for both parties. On a little bit of this messy side, speaking of new wrestling deals, this WWE ESPN partnership, they've only been together for a couple of months. From the outside looking in, it like the WrestlePalooza, they're talking about how that was going to like change the landscape of premium live events. It was a bunch of bullshit, and we're going to get to Survivor Series. I thought that too was a bunch of bullshit. And to like the price that they're making you pay ESPN, it's a 5-year, $1.6 billion deal. So that is a long-term locked-in deal with huge amount of money. Freddie Prinze Jr., the actor and former WWE writer, he did say on his podcast Wrestling with Freddie the other day that, quote, ESPN, by the way, is so unhappy with this deal. I was talking to a friend of mine who works for Disney, and he was just like, yo, they better make their money back on this deal. Like he said, their ESPN is hot. And WWE and ESPN quickly came out to be like, this nigga's lying. And even like hinted that now ESPN are mad at Freddie for saying this and making up these lies.
It ain't come from nowhere,
right? And I know there were so many people being like, the conversation with the announcement when it first came out, people were super excited. I was one of them. I was excited because I have ESPN. I have ESPN Plus. I was like, let's go. And then all of a sudden they're like, brand new ESPN Plus. For $30 a month, you can get all of ESPN. And I was like, I don't want all of ESPN. I have the exact amount of ESPN that I want. Like, what do you mean? And so it's super frustrating because like $30 a month that you're making us pay for one PLE month. So I think it's insane. And shout out to the fairy godfather who helped me out watch Survivor Series. And again, and watching that, I was like, I'm very happy I didn't pay I didn't pay for this, because this is it. I mean, again, we'll get to it. I'm already saying it. Like I wasn't even whelmed, let alone overwhelmed with that PLE. But we'll stick with this. How, like, on a scale of 1 being utter nonsense, like WWE and ESPN said, and 10 being Freddie told no lies, where do you feel this story is?
I think the story has some legs, right? Because all right, let's take it from the top when this announcement happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're switching all over again. We're coming off Peacock, we're moving somewhere else. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
ESPN, cool. If you have a cable subscription, you should be good to go, right? Okay, cool. Like, yeah. I got ESPN,
yeah.
I got ESPN Plus. Again, I pay for it for soccer purposes. Yeah. So I've had ESPN for a long. So I'm thinking, like, smooth, like, this is cool. Yeah. Like, all right, bet. People got to pay $30 a month. That's crazy. I got a cable subscription. Dang, that's too bad for y'all. Come to find out, that doesn't even apply to me, dog. What do you mean I still have to pay the $30 a month? Now, here's the crazy part about it, right? And how companies are just getting over on us, because I already had this deal. So when Disney Plus, Hulu, all this launched, I had a deal where you could get all this, and it was $10, I think. And this was a few years ago, but they had this same exact bundle where you could get all these channels, and it was $10 a month total. And I had that, and now I still have it. I have to pay more, but now I have to pay $30. And so it was I was pissed off about that. Like, so WrestlePalooza, I didn't even watch it because I'm sitting here thinking, like, here I can just turn my TV on with my already cable subscription, and no, as I'm getting, hitting the start button, 30, let me get 30 up off you, homie. Oh, no.
It's so principle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that was that, and then it just got to this point, right, where I was just like, look, I'm already paying for Disney Plus. I'm already paying for Hulu. I'm already paying for ESPN as is, right? Like, cable, like, these subscriptions are hitting us in the head now. It's getting crazy. And so if you're going to bundle them again, like, all right, I'll just bite the bullet and just, whatever the jump was. I mean, it was a few dollar jump compared to what I was paying for them collectively already. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna, bite the bullet and get this for Survivor Series. This is the top 4 PLE of the year. So, so I ended up doing that, but yeah, I wasn't happy about it. And if I'm thinking that, like, who else? They're guaranteed millions of others are thinking that. I doubt there's not a single person. There's not a single person when this deal was announced and they said $30. Let me get that. Not a single person. So if I'm thinking that, it literally just took me, like, again, just Survivor Series is about to kick off. Like, all right, I do want to watch this. Let me just bite the bullet. But I don't think anybody willfully was like, I'm going to pay this $30, no matter what no matter what's going on. So I'm sure. I again, and I don't know what the viewership was for WrestlePalooza. I have no clue, but clearly, like, it couldn't have been high, and clearly, like, I feel like this is another Apple TV MLS kind of situation where we're stuck. Like, if you want to watch it, like, you kind of gotta do what you gotta do, and we see how that's worked out, right? And what's about to happen with that coming forward. So I feel like this is kind of that same situation, and yeah, no, I fully believe somebody said that. Somebody high up said that. It wasn't just regular Joe that works in production that said that. I'm pretty sure this was somebody of or people of decent enough power that do feel that way genuinely.
And yeah, like you said, with the whole MLS Apple TV, that's a good shout. They made the playoffs free to watch as long as you had an Apple TV subscription. They announced that next season, that's how it's just going to be. That if you have Apple TV, you now have the MLS. So all these people who have been paying the yearly season pass subscription, sorry for you. Did you buy in already for next season? Oops. If you really want your refund, just email us. Just reach out to us. It's fine. We won't try to refund you though. Like, so you got to do the concerted effort to get the money back. And it will be interesting to see. That's inevitably what's going to happen. Are they going to drop the price for ESPN Select? Are they going to like make a super bundle type of, like, there's going to be some, and once that happens, that's when you know, oh yeah, no, Freddie was right. He was right. They're trying to make some things happen.
Sure. And another shout, like, let's think about like what these executives at, like, you know, where was SmackDown just previously before it moved? You know, like these same executives were kind of upset about the same exact thing, right? So, you know, this is literally just moving it from one table to another, right? You know, if they weren't happy there, what makes it change over here? You know, like, so. And coming from somebody, obviously we are very involved in the soccer world as well. I didn't watch a single MLS game this season, not a single one. And, you know, I'll probably watch the cup, you know, I'll probably watch the final, but up until this point, like, not a single MLS game was watched because I'm not paying the $5. Like, I'm
See, and I shout out to Mom's Dukes over here. My mom, I have her Apple TV subscription. So that's how I've been watching the playoffs. But I haven't watched anything up until the playoffs because it's just like, I don't really care. The game style, the way that it is, like the fact that they don't care, like it's all very annoying.
There's so many points on top of, now I got to pay all this money.
Mm-hmm. No,
yeah, get out of here.
So yeah, I've been watching, and we'll definitely watch the final because, you know, I watch finals of any sport, whether I pay attention to it or not. In theory, it's the best versus the best. It's going to be a show and all those things, so I'm here for it.
Messi versus Thomas Mueller, and Messi doesn't really do well, and we talked about this on FTC. Messi doesn't really do well against them Germans, and here comes Thomas Mueller out the blue. Here comes Thomas Mueller out the blue.
Just showed up halfway through the season, and now he's in the final. Like, what is this? Man.
It'll be interesting, but no, yeah, definitely. This thing definitely has legs, and I'll be very curious to see, like, you know, a fiscal year, how productive, how efficient this was, and where we go from here. So
yeah, and we'll keep it moving to our Survivor Series review, and the viewership, it was 3.89 million viewers, which is one of the lowest ratings for a WWE PLE. In comparison, Survivor last year had an average viewership of 4.74 million viewers. Like, a million years into Survivor, people are still watching it. Like, that's a big number. 3.89 overall, but it dropped 5% from the second hour to the third hour. So people really weren't even like tapped into the men's one, which that was my least favorite of the two. Like, the women's was better. The men's, it was just like spots in the fact that you're watching like CM Punk and all these people wrestling. Like, it wasn't really fun or exciting, and it was lazy. It was unfortunate. So we will start with the women's War Games. Rhea Ripley, AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss defeated Becky Lynch, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legends in the women's War Games. Io Sky, once again, like, she just did her patented garbage like tumble, very similar to like how Mankind was always falling off of the Hell in the Cell or the cage match. Like, this is Io Sky's bump that she seems to do, and finds more. Like, I love that she actually had like an Io Sky branded garbage can. Yeah. Like,
we know what's coming.
Exactly. Well, and it's funny because she just had the top. And I was like, I'm so confused. Why does she only have the top? And then Rhea Ripley shows up and she has the actual trash can. And it's like, I wondered if Io like ran out and couldn't find it, or maybe they were still trying to put the wrapping around the can or something. I'm sure there is an actual story around it.
Indeed.
AJ Lee, it was really cool seeing her come in and do her thing. I mean, honestly, Becky Lynch was the crux of the entire match, and she really is
Rightfully so.
Yeah, right, the best heel in the game at the moment. Like, she's just fantastic. I love everything that she's doing. But it was a great showing from Lash Legend. Even Kairi Sane, who has been very minimized, it felt, but she was able to kind of grow as a character through all of this. She feels just as serious. Asuka's that woman, like, we know that about her. Honestly, I feel like the person who like lost the most was like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Like, I get Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Like, crowd loves her, but I think it honestly, it was too much star power. It was like too much going on. What were your thoughts on it?
Leave it to the women, right, to kick it off and
Yep.
bring the energy as always, right? I mean, goodness, every WWE event that I've watched, in recent memory has been, usually the women kicking it off, and it's arguably the best match of the night every single time. So again, it's just more of the same with that. So shout out to them. I don't think Charlotte was. I think if anybody more got hurt, it was more Alexa Bliss than Charlotte. And I think they did that by having Charlotte start, right? So Charlotte was obviously in the ring the longest, and she got most of the action there. And no, she looked good, and I think everything was good overall. I think the person, of course, which I think the intention of it, of course, as well, with the most to gain, or who I think grew the most out of it, absolutely was Lash Legend. She looked absolutely dominant. Like, she looked like a force to be reckoned with, and um you love to see it, right? We saw this when she was in NXT, and we were waiting for her to get her call up because we knew it was coming soon, because it just you could not ignore it. And she's been absolutely amazing, especially teaming up with Nia Jax in the meantime, to kind of get that, to build that up. And it's been great. It's been great. So overall, yeah, no, I was very impressed all around with everybody. And yeah, no, Becky continues to be a great heel, just great overall. Um it's just on everything. Like, we knew Becky had this in her. We know Becky's character to this point. She's excelled as a face so well, that we knew that she could flip that switch and turn into such an awesome heel. And she's been great at that. And I think she's kind of in. I think this was probably her best heel storyline up to this point. Where it really, everything kind of culminated against her. So that was great. And then, of course, it was great AJ Lee, being back as well, coming back and being that superhero that she's always been, that she was back when she was, really on the main roster about 10 years ago as well. So it was good to see, like, her back. It was good. Like I said, everybody really got shine. I just think Alexa probably got like the least out of it at that point, but I don't think it was anything to really hurt her. But
No.
yeah, overall, yeah.
Everybody is who they are in this.
And they got to
like you
show
said,
it.
yeah, Lash Legend is the only one because she's the newest. So she has the biggest chance, and they did a great job in making her look dominant.
Absolutely.
But in the end they still lost, but it was all like the focus was taking out Becky Lynch because all the talking and the smack that she's done. Yeah, I love it. And well, what were your thoughts on the crowd? Because it's one of those things, the crowd wasn't the best, but also I'm tired of them putting these events in these like baseball stadiums, because realistically only the people who are like ringside are the people who can really
see.
can actually see what's going on happening in real time. Everybody outside, like if you're not too far back, then you can't see the screens, and then you're like waiting on the screen, but then it's all on the cameraman to make sure that he catches everything that's going on in order to make people pop. They need to go back to these smaller like having the most people and breaking all these attendance records is cool, but the best part of watching wrestling, especially at home if you're watching on TV, is the crowd popping, is everyone freaking out when they're doing these moves and stuff and nobody's reacting. You're like, oh, is it even that cool? Like maybe this is fake.
The thing that I hate the most, especially like in big stadiums like that, are the 50 million turns that wrestlers got to take to get to the ring.
Yeah.
Instead of just straight down the ramp. Like they had to make a whole 3 NASCAR turns just to make it to the ring from the entrance. And like that's just always weird to me. So you're so used to, the entrance straight down to the ring. And I think that's just where you feel that the most. Look, man, big stadiums, and you see like the average, people take pictures and videos and they post them on social media and stuff, and where they are, and I'm pretty sure that's your average ticket. The ring is like this big from where
like
they
little
are.
ants. You're just like,
so it's just like. Yeah, I mean, if you want, of course, people are going to pop, they're going to react, and you're going to have your hardcore people there. But if you want, like, the most emotional people, the people that are going to react the loudest, are probably not going to be able to afford the tickets that are right there at ringside. That's where your celebrities are going to be, and so on and so forth. And I mean, you got passionate celebrities, but they're not the passionate fans that that you want popping and reacting and so
losing
on and
their
so
minds and jumping up and down and crying and
exactly.
moments and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think a smaller venue would be helpful for sure. And
like 30,000 is still fantastic. Like you just need to go back to, man. And like and also, even if they are loud, I don't know, because all the sound is just going straight up, like out into the open air. So even if it is loud, and like I'm sure it is, like people, if you're there in the stadium, I'm sure it's very loud, but it just doesn't feel like it doesn't hit. And then also on top of like the first match starting when the sun is still up, so all the pyro, like you half see, like I don't know, it's just frustrating. It definitely kind of kills a little bit. Oh yeah, and shout out, speaking of Lash Legend, shout out to Lash Legend and Trick Williams for their engagement. Love Black Love, especially at Thanksgiving, like in front of the family and everything. I love that. That's great.
We celebrate Black Love on YWP. So
yes,
indeed, shout out to y'all. Beautiful stuff.
Dominic Mysterio, with the help of the ladies of Judgment Day, including Alexa Bliss, the return of Alexa Bliss.
Liv Morgan.
So, shit. the return of Liv Morgan. All these fucking blondes, bro. They fucking me up. I love the way that Liv Morgan did it. Like, she shows up, he's all happy, and she smacks the fuck out of him, and John Cena's like, oh, got him. And even me, I was like, oh, he's in trouble. But also I was like, man, Roxanne really hasn't done anything. She calmed down a lot. Like, they used to be like real steamy and step back.
It was a huge step back.
Yeah. But that was all a ruse, and now that just seems to be their little like kink now. Just a little like smack, public shame, and then start going at each other. I don't kink shame over here. Don't kink shame over here. But we have Dirty Dom back as the double champion, beating that old man, that washed up, that almost retired John Cena. What are your thoughts on the match? How'd you enjoy it?
Oh, I love Dom. I love Dom. Dom is Rey Mysterio might be my favorite wrestler of all time, and Dom is probably the best Mysterio of all time, right?
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
You knew he was. You knew he was gonna win. You knew he was gonna win. Cena wasn't going to bring the belt to
the last
Saturday
time is now
Night
final.
Main Event. Yeah. Okay. So you knew he was dropping it. It was just a matter of how. And they put on a good show. And I have no problem with the match. I have no problem with Liv returning. Liv ultimately pulled a Cena on Cena.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what Cena did to Cody Rhodes, so I guess that was kind of closure to that, if you want to call it that.
Good
so I have no problem with none of that. And, Dom and Liv back again. That was amazing. Cena is going through the motions.
Oh, 1,000%.
To me right now.
Yeah.
And that's where my disappointment is. It's like he comes out, he does what he always does, goes in the ring. I'm not a fan of the promo. Like the intro, I'm not a fan of that.
It worked when he was a heel. Not so much now. The Never Seen 17. And again, it just works because the crowd does it. It's just everything he's doing is specifically for the crowd there, so they can all just be like, "Yay!" Honestly, it feels like karaoke, which matches your whole like he's just phoning it in. It just feels like karaoke. It feels like a shell of like we know what it's supposed to be, but it just sounds off.
It's annoying. Like I don't, how much longer do we have of this?
One more.
Because that's annoying. And then what I don't like, or I guess what makes me like the most frustrated about all this, is he loses, he stands up and goes just straight to the back. Like if you want this to be emotional, like if you want to really like this is your last ride, like like do something. Like get onto the ropes and do something, or just kind of engage with the fans. He lost. He rolled over the ring, stood up, walked to the back.
Well, he did the like, oh, I'm sad, but it was like, but like you said, he's not selling it. He's just like, oh darn, I'm sad. Oh, it reminds me of like when, like a kid hurts himself, but they're faking, so they're just like, like that's basically what he was doing. Was oh, I'm so sad. Are they believing it? Are they believing it? Oh darn. I'll see you guys. One more event. More events. Like he's being paid so much to do this. And we know that WWE, those Saturday Night Main Event tickets, I'm sure are going to be stupid because it's going to be John Cena's last event. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. Is it about the game or is it about the money? But we know what this new WWE is. It's all about the money.
Yeah, man. So yeah, no problem with the match. You knew he was going to drop the belt. You knew he wasn't going to do it cleanly. This is Dirty Dom, obviously. So it was just, how is that going to happen? So no problem with that at all. It was just, I don't know, the emotion I need from Cena is just not giving what I need for his last match to be a week or two away. I was just, all right, Cena, get out of here.
Like facts. And I mean, we'll get to the finale. Well, there are a couple of moments from Raw after we finish this Saturday Night Survivor Series review. But even his final match that he has, whether it's with Gunther or LA Knight, we know he's going to lose. And again, it's just like, okay, he's just been losing so much. The crowd got the happy in Boston, him beating Dom, but for the most part, it's been a lot of L's. It's been a lot of him getting his ass whooped, and that also, I think, has kind of taken the fun out of it, because I know he's supposed to big up other people, and I know you never go out. You always go out on your back. Yeah, so like I get it. It's not all the reasons why people hated John Cena. We're seeing it. We are seeing it.
Wrap this puppy up, B.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of it, might need to wrap up their run. Nikki Bella loses to Stephanie Vaquer. And it's funny too, because it's like, you can tell Nikki Bella is in great shape. She's gotten in great shape for this. The crowd doesn't necessarily care. Her wrestling is okay, but the way that she botched the Devil's Kiss at that end, like the one on the table, she did great. But yeah, that last one where she was just kind of like, like you could tell she was tired. Like, I get it, she's blown up, but that was, and even when I saw like a lot of stuff was coming out, that you could tell how pissed off Stephanie Vaquer was after. I just thought she was like, and this is just because I believe in her character so much. That's how pissed she was at Nikki Bella for like turning on her and stuff like that. But the way that Devil's Kiss was botched, and she really did make Vaquer work for it. Like, she tried super hard for that. It was ugly. Yeah, that match was not great. And where does Nikki Bella go from here? She technically needs to if she is to leave, like this can't be her final match. Like, it's like, because she's too young to just disappear like this and then come back a year or 2 or 3 later and then everybody be excited. Like, she absolutely cannot, unless she shows up with her sister again. Like, that's the only way that I think people will be excited. But even then, like, we're just like, I still don't know. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the match? Let's start first with the match before I get your thoughts on the whole Nikki Bella experiment.
This was a bathroom break for me, unfortunately. No disrespect at all to Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh yeah, no.
Who, you know, is absolutely amazing. I think it just, Nikki Bella does nothing for me. And at this time, like, she just doesn't have she doesn't have the sauce of an AJ Lee. So why do I care? You know, the sauce is just not there. Your time has come and went. You're going in the Hall of Fame. You know, you were there during the Revolution, and I respect that. But that was then. This is now. You know, and it just, I was never, when she came back, it was just okay. You know, like, what are we doing here? And you know, she was supposed to have her match with Liv, you know, a while back, and you know, and unfortunately Liv ended up getting hurt. So it was kind of like, you know, you're kind of stuck in limbo, and you know, it is what it is there. But it just, it just is not there for me. And you know, and then you do that on top of that. Like, nobody cared to begin with, and then you fuck shit up to, you know, to add on to it. And you know, if she don't have, honestly, she don't have to come back. That can be it. That can be it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's gonna be like, oh well, what happened to Nikki Bella? Because nobody gives a shit. So it's, you know, it was just, you know, it was one of those things that, you know, you do what you got to do. And Stephanie, you know, I take my hat off to you in that sense for doing what you have to do. Nobody's questioning your character, your inside character. Nobody's questioning your heart for the game, which I believe you 1000% believe in, which is why you were so upset that she fucked it up to begin with. And I mean, like, it's the devil's kiss, dog. Like, well, how gassed do you have to be to just make shit believable, bro?
Yeah.
Like, and so yeah,
It's
man,
yeah, I'm with you. It's
bathroom break.
Bathroom break for sure. Yeah, La Primera. That it was just a waste because that's supposed to be something that La Primera, and I'm sure she will. She'll be like, I beat Nikki Bella, who's a Hall of Famer, blah 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 blah. Like that. In theory, she can say that and get through it, but it is one of those things that it almost is best to just never address again. Like, let's move on. Who cares? Which is, again, it's unfortunate. And then the last match, only 4 matches, and I know it's the War Games, and it's still ended up being like 3 hours, but honestly, it's just all those ads, bro. So many ad breaks. It just messes everything up. The heels won. Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Bron Breaker, Bronson Reed defeated Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the Usos. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember any spots from this match. I was ready for bed by the time I watched this. It was okay. It was whatever. And then at the end, where because the heels or the face lost, they're now like going at each other. Like, fucking hell. Like,
I'll say, I think this match did a lot for Bron Breaker. I think he looked very, very good in this match, and he did a lot of the work throughout. So I was I was glad to see that for him. I do think this was definitely just a bunch of names in that sense. You got everybody coming out. You got your Jays, you got Jimmy, you got Brock, you got Roman, you got CM Punk, you got Cody, you know, Logan, everybody there. So it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, let's hope the aura of things gets people excited and into it. And you were just kind of it was just kind of one of those things where you were just waiting, like, all right, well, who's coming out next? Okay, Cody's coming out now. All right, Jay's coming out now. All right, Brock's coming out now. All right, Roman's coming out now. And yeah, I mean, there's very little outside of what I remember of the match. Of course, the big thing to it all, and why the heels lost, was this mystery hooded figure who I've heard everything from Austin Theory to
person looked too
Montez
thin to
Ford.
be. The guy looked way too thin to be Austin Theory.
Yeah. And so then they heard Austin. I heard Montez Ford. And I've even heard of freaking and it's killing me that that her name is slipping me in this moment. But her, freaking it is killing me that I gotta Google it.
No, that's fine. I guess because I'm even thinking back of like the body shape. I can see a Montez Ford. That'd be great, But also, like, what does Montez Ford have to do with any of that? Like, other than him being a heel, like, I don't want him to do anything with the Vision. So that they are going to have some explaining to do, and I will be interested in how they explain that.
I've heard Zoe Stark. They said it was
Zoe Stark is like this big.
So that was just funny.
Oh my gosh,
that would be interesting to see.
I mean, I don't hate it, but yeah.
It's I'm interested to see just like who this is, where it goes. Of course, the whole thing about it was they were doing Seth's moves, right? So like, is it Seth? But it's clearly not Seth. Like this guy was this guy was the size of two Seths.
Yeah, right.
So you know, how is he affiliated with the Vision? And yeah, man. And then like you said, once they lost, now Cody and Roman are beefing again, and and is this going to lead up to, part, what is this, 3-4 WrestleMania, at WrestleMania now, Cody and Roman. So, who's to say? But yeah, overall, I Survivor Series used to be one of those ones, right? It used to be. I think it was best when it was brands. When it was
Oh,
Raw versus
1,000%.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
And even throw in NXT in there, and when it was Raw
Oh, I
versus
would have loved that.
SmackDown
Yeah.
versus NXT.
Yeah.
I think that's when Survivor Series was just at its peak. And it was just like, you can't miss this. Like, holy shit, they are going at it. Like, this is brand supremacy. And I just, you got to do what you got to do, but it just did not hit the same.
Yeah.
And
even with the brand supremacy, the brand versus brand, it gave each brand a chance to look good, because you would have a winner on each show, and then it would kind of come down to the last match, which would be the big one. And that's how then you would just make everybody look good in the match. But overall, everybody got a win. So they had something to go back to the show and be like, hey, this person did great. This is why our show is the best. Whereas this, it's War Games anyway, which was its own thing, but now it took over Survivor Series. But yet they talk about how they want to try to move away from anything Vince McMahon. And I don't know, maybe is War Games a Triple H thing? Like, I don't know. But watching AEW, their Blood and Guts, which is their version of it, it's 5 times better. Like, I'm not even being hyperbolic. The wrestling is better. The storylines are better. I mean, yes, they do the blood and they do lots of it, but there were just moves where I legitimately was like, oh my god, like I'm cringing. Like there weren't many moments in either the men's or the women's where I was like legitimately worried about their safety, or I was like cringing from a spot, or like thinking, ooh, that move hurt, or anything like that. It was just very unfortunate. And I think it's wild that I'm now at the spot where I'm legit like, AEW? Yeah, like truly, WWE is messing up. Like AEW, they're really starting to cook. They're a lot of their mid card guys are starting to step up. A lot of their big top guys have found ways to like elevate their characters and grow on itself. Like, I'm really enjoying what AEW is doing, while WWE, despite all of their major superstars, they're just kind of spinning their tires.
It does feel that way. And, then I saw something else recently. Randy Orton hasn't been seen in months because they have nothing for him. And, I please forgive me for saying this, but like maybe Vince was right. Maybe Vince was right. Like there's things, and again, like, all right, do I want Vince back? No. But maybe his ideas weren't so bad. You clearly see the things that Vince did that are so different that kept you involved, and you can see like where it's going now, and it's just it's different. It's different.
It's very different.
Am I going to watch still? I do. I'll watch. Am I tuned in every Monday night? No. I'm not. It is a fact that I can actually watch it, at a later time now, being that, Netflix.
Oh yeah, I'm not watching it live. Yeah, I'm not watching it
Yeah,
live.
exactly. So, um,
And
yeah.
I've actually missed a lot of the SmackDowns. Like I just go, oh right, it's Friday. Like I remember I had no problem being like, I'm gonna be lame on a Friday because I'm gonna watch SmackDown. Now it's just like I'd rather read. Like honestly, I'll just watch the highlights. Like nothing is really, yeah. It is what it is, and hopefully they figure some stuff out. So how would you, in another scale, from one being just like trash, I thought it was awful, to 10 being this was a perfect PLE. What would you rate this?
I would just say I give it a 5. It was just meh. It was just
That's
meh.
Yeah, yeah, very, very. I was underwhelmed. Yeah, underwhelmed. So 5 is perfect. I would eat. Yeah, 4. Yeah, it was like truly. Will never think about it. None of their matches were in like the top matches of the year. Uh, Again, just the 4 matches, the pacing in between all of it. The worst part about them being so far and having to do all those turns, it really makes these incredibly athletic people look very unathletic. Like they look super unathletic because they're just like, and it's a lot of space, but because they also can't sprint because they have a lot of wrestling that they got to do. So they're kind of just like jogging the entire time. And you're like, these motherfuckers are slow. It's just like, no, we can't run because we're about to do a 10-15 minute wrestling match where we're getting flipped and slammed and all this other stuff. So it just doesn't make anybody look good.
Yeah, no. If I had to if I had to change anything about, like big events or big venues, like if they can't run straight to that ring, like I don't want it. It takes away for their entrance. It just takes away the impact of it.
Worst case, just like build a tunnel so that when they come out, they just come out closer to it instead of it being super far away like that. Like they need to figure something out. But also just put it in smaller venues, man. Like
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Okay, the Monday Night Raw after, there were really only 3. There was a lot that happened in it that I enjoyed, but there are 3 big topics of conversation. First is LA Knight versus Gunther, and the Time Is Now tournament finale. I was actually happy that LA Knight beat Jey Uso, because it looks like it has pushed Jey Uso. He's back on that line of, is he going to be a heel now? He had through that like temper tantrum, because they got to that spot like 6 weeks ago, and all of a sudden he was like, nope, I'm a good guy again. We were just like, oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay. So this is now forwarded his story. It's hopefully a growth opportunity for his character. Another, will LA Knight be able to do it type of situation. LA Knight, the consummate bridesmaid, the best man always and forever. They gave Gunther his old entrance music back. He looks like he's not even really doing any of the talking. He's just coming in and beating people down, that's what Gunther used to do. He's just like, there's no need to talk. I'm just going to wrestle. I'm just better than you guys. I'm very much enjoying this. And the whole talk from the beginning was Gunther's going to come through and he's going to steamroll John Cena. And then he can just brag how he ended John Cena's career. I'm here for that. I really like that. But the only way that this works is if Gunther truly destroys John Cena. Not like the Brock Lesnar did in the PLE where he just hit him with like 5 F9s and then it was over. Like legit, I need kids crying all over the stadium because he just like is chopping him to pieces. John Cena, it's your last match. So I don't care if you're broken, you're broken. Like sit out, do a movie in the summer. Like he needs to get destroyed. And on the other end, and because you need that heel versus a face, like I feel bad for LA Knight because
Exactly.
he can't do a face versus face. Like
exactly.
like historically, and then also if you do that, LA Knight is he's a yapper, but we also know John Cena, that's his thing, is yapping. So like that could actually backfire on LA Knight because he could talk. He's also known for like fluffing his lines when it comes to his promo. If he does that to John Cena, then it's really over for him. So I mean, it'll just be the John Cena Austin Theory thing again, because that was supposed to like lift up Austin Theory, but then John Cena eviscerated him in that promo, and we really haven't seen Austin Theory since. So it's yeah, it has no choice but to be Gunther. Sorry, LA Knight. I don't know when he's ever going to get that push. There's also those conversations that Triple H doesn't fuck with him, that LA Knight is a Vince guy, and the only reason why he is getting any sort of love that he's getting is because the crowd absolutely adores him. So it Gunther, is that who you get your bets in with?
Yeah, that's who it was when all this first, started happening. That it was Gunther, and it was always going to be Gunther. So, and then the main reason, as you just mentioned, is you can't have a face versus face for a final match, So that's all but solidified it there. And I mean, that's clearly he's Gunther's the retirement killer, the legend killer, the modern day legend killer now, retiring Goldberg and now Cena. So he could talk, big shit about that. Yeah, no, it's very unfortunate that LA Knight keeps, getting to the mountaintop but just can't, stand on it. And yeah, it's it is what it is in that sense. I I don't know where he goes from here and how long he's going to tolerate that, and I don't know if this is all just like, okay, do it for this year and then next year we'll throw you a bone.
They've
I
been
don't
telling him
know.
that for the last like 3 years.
I don't know. Like, is he going to win the Royal Rumble? Like, I really don't know. So, but yeah, no, it's going to be Gunther, and yeah, no, it has to, it has to be a story. It has to be, similar to Jey Uso, right? How, it was just like impossible odds, and Cena fights back, but whereas obviously where Jey went over, it has to be Gunther, finding that, cutting it short,
Gonna choke him out.
cutting it short right at the finish line. So yeah, wrap this puppy up, B.
Thank you, John Cena, but also goodbye, John Cena. And then we will end the match in this hold on, no, Bron Breaker, his promo. That promo that he did, going at CM Punk, lots of passion. He killed it. I was like, oh snaps, he's starting to cook. And then I even love that he stormed out, and Heyman and Logan and Braun, they were just like, okay, and everybody around him and busted open, and like everybody is being like, Breaker's the guy now, and we knew that, but you had Heyman doing all the talking, and now he's starting to do the talking. Bronson Reed, he's done some promos. He's been able to establish himself as someone on the mic.
Indeed.
So we're here now. Like, they have hit the evolution that was needed. The Paul Heyman effect is working. And best part of Logan Paul joining them, all those other three are more important than him. So we really haven't heard much from Logan Paul, which has been fantastic. So how are you feeling about Bron Breakker? Like, what he felt like a guy that he didn't necessarily need to be able to do a promo in order to be that guy, but now that he has done that promo, he cursed multiple times. Like, it felt very like Attitude Era, which I loved in the best way. So Bron Breakker, he's that guy. He's taking the belt from CM Punk, right?
I'll say this. You can only go so far with skill, alone. Obviously, that's how he got to be who he is. Because in the ring, he's, so good. But in wrestling, that only takes you so far, a la Roman Reigns, right? He was one of those people that, we could deal with in the ring, but on the mic, it was just like, ugh. So I'm I'm glad that he's becoming whole. Because they wanted him. They wanted him at the top. They want to give this man the belt, and you gotta. There's only so much you can do off skill alone, and so I'm happy that he's kind of showing that now. And it's been a good week for him. It's been a good week for him, and I think he's showing the things that they wanted to see. And yeah, you kind of want that heel that's kind of leading the pack, a la Seth Rollins. And I think as Seth is healing right now, I think they're in a good spot for him, to, all right, Seth, like, don't hurry back, like, heal up, get better,
truly,
and
take your
when
time.
you're back. But
yeah,
we got it now. So no, very good for Bron. He has, of course, as a Steiner, you recognize that history, right, between both Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner. And I think it's fully coming out now, right? He's really showing that Steiner, um, that that made them, one of the best tag teams, one of the best two of the best superstars in the '90s. So I'm very happy to see it, and yeah, like I said, it's been a good week for him, and let's keep it moving. Let's take it to the top, baby.
I know it's not something that people are supposed to say nowadays, but what was it? It was like a month ago during one of his promos, he called somebody fat. I was just like, oh, let's go. I was like, that's a Steiner. He's a Steiner. It was like, yeah, he has all of the stuff. He has the barking. He has like the head switch. Obviously, the spear is mega. The Frankensteiner, like he's everything in the ring, but now he has the personality, he has the look. Yeah, I'm here for it. Give him everything. And then we will end on the women's tag team division. It seems like they're starting to. They've hinted that they got
starting
something.
To sizzle.
Yeah, we got the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, Judgment Day, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and those are like the big names. They're tons of unfortunate, like, small ones that never will get the chance ever again now that we have them doing their thing. I'm excited. I mean, the only thing that is, I guess, unfortunate is, like, with the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, the Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, the Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, they are technically individual people who are teaming up only for them to inevitably split and start a program with each other, hating each other. And that is, I guess, the only negative thing about it. But I'm trying to enjoy it while we have it, because this is a great opportunity to showcase the wrestlers and just being able to be like, hey, here's 4 wrestlers in a match at one time. They're all awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, no, this is a good time for each and every one of them, especially in the tag division. Just the chemistry is all there, all around. So yeah, the sky's the limit. I guess the biggest problem is, of course, you can't do them all, right? Somebody's inevitably going to get pushed to the back, because you only have so much time and you only have so many people. So that's my only concern, and my concern is I don't know who that's going to be. If I had to take a guess, eventually it might be Bayley and Lyra. I don't want to say that, but compared to like the obviously Rio and Io, like they're going to the top, right?
Oh, 1,000%. Yep.
They're that's inevitable. You have the Kabuki Warriors, who are already title contenders. You have Charlotte and Alexa, and then you have your tag team champions, right? Like, So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of people in the ring, but I think everybody has good chemistry right now, and yeah, they could really make a program out of it. So I'm excited to see what happens out of that.
What I'm hoping comes of it is a women's TLC match.
It has to.
Like that's what we need. Is that'll help take the women's tag team to another level, and then from there you can bring in maybe these like B-side people, because that's technically what tag team on the men's side is. There are the tag teams who are consummate tag teams, but also it's, hey, let's put this topish guy with this new guy and let them build together and help this young person get some run, get his matches in, stuff like that. But people don't care about women's tag team as much. And especially in WWE, like AEW, they are working on crowning their first women's tag team champions, and they're doing a great job at it, and they're slow cooking it, but also they're highlighting them. They're giving them so much attention, where half of an episode is just the women's tag team situation. So I like what they're doing, and it does kind of feel like they're fast tracking things over on the WWE side by doing this, because you had them do the brawl at the end of Raw, and Judgment Day came up on top at the end, but that's just because Liv is back, so naturally, and it's three of them, and where everybody else is a tag team. So obviously there's plenty of time to see where it's going to go, but I'm here for it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, as always, the women carrying it all. So,
and we started with the women's wrestling, and we ended the episode with women's wrestling. Shout out to the ladies. I appreciate you, Showbro. Thanks for talking wrestling with me for the last hour. Hope you listeners, you enjoyed yourselves. Devin, let people know where they can find you and the most dope things that you do.
Yeah, for sure, man. You can definitely find me talking wrestling, talking. Ooh, yeah.
I just saw red. I don't even know what that was.
That's all you need to see.
I blacked out. I blacked out for a moment.
That's
I don't
all
even know
you
what was
need
going
to
on.
See. You just need to see first place. You can see me talking all things wrestling, talking all things Arsenal, all things soccer. Devin Pugh at Blue Sky, or you can catch me at ftcutd.com at Blue Sky. If you want to see what I do in real life when I'm not, podcasting, you can find me on Twitter _Devin Pugh and IG _Devin Pugh. Yeah.
At YFW podcast.bsky.social. We're also on Instagram at YFW podcast, YFW podcast, and then anything within the umbrella of Shades of Blue Network, which YFW podcast is there at Shades of Blue NW. Just type that in on any social media platform and we're probably there. Until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.